I am one with the drink. The drink is with me. Welcome to Cocktail Cinema. My name is Isaac. Today we're going to be talking about how to make the Negroni and also discussing Star Wars Rogue One.
Jin, whatever I do it to protect you. So you understand?
I understand.
You want to get out of here?
Our rebellion is all that remains to push back the Empire. You think you might be able to help us?
When was the last time you were in contact with your father?
What is this? It appears he is critical to the development of a super weapon.
If my father built this thing, we need to find him.
All right. How many do I need?
They are requesting a call sign. It's, Rogue One.
So the Negroni is made with 1 ounce of Campari, also 1 ounce of sweet vermouth, and then 1 ounce of gin, a gin-based drink. You can go ahead and make this cocktail right in the glass. Add your equal parts, go ahead and give it a stir with your ice, and then drop in your orange wheel, or orange rind if you prefer, to garnish the drink. And there you have yourself a Negroni. Cheers. While you're enjoying your gin-based drink, let's talk about Star Wars Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Rogue One is a film directed by Gareth Edwards, starring Felicity Jones, Diego Luna, Donnie Yen, Alan Tudyk, Wen Jiang, Ben Mendelsohn, Forrest Whitaker, Riz Ahmed, Peter Cushing. It takes place before Episode 4 and after Episode 3. Spoilers. If you've seen the opening crawl of Star Wars Episode 4, there's a line in there about how rebel forces stole the plans to the Death Star. And then there also is one line of dialogue within the film that said, many brave souls or something to that effect died getting these plans. So this is their story. I'm going to talk about this film as if you've seen it. It does answer an age-old question about why there would be such a flaw built within the Death Star in order to defeat it, which was really satisfying. It has now ended that debate. Was it perfect? No, it wasn't perfect. Star Wars has to be a perfect film. Why does Star Wars have to be a perfect film? You know, the original trilogy wasn't perfect. Shut up! Wow, man, you just seem really angry. I'm very angry. My father was a Sith Lord. A Sith Lord? Yes, he was a Sith Lord. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man. That really sounds heavy. By the way, are you Irish or not? Because your accent really seems... Move along. I really enjoyed this film. So we were promised a war-type film. This is a bit of an experiment, so they kind of played with the tone a little bit, went a little darker. Part of the larger story, but not about our main cast of characters. I really enjoyed the third act specifically. Some of the drawbacks are that it feels like it is sort of slow-paced through Act 1 and Act 2, and by the time Act 3 happens, that's when all of the great stuff happens. The point of this story, which was probably a decision by the filmmakers, was to make it more so about the mission than the characters. The other drawback is that while these are all cool characters, and there isn't a lot of character development within the story. Jyn Erso, played by Felicity Jones, gets the most character development. We open on her character. We see the relationship between her father, which is the main sort of emotional thrust of the film. But even in that, there could have been, in my opinion, maybe a moment where we saw maybe her father teaching her something or showing her how to do something that would have made it just a little more emotionally rich. Still got plenty about her. What we didn't get so much of is some of the other characters. Cassian is a really cool character, I think, and complex. There is about a line of dialogue about his backstory, and that's really all we get, is that he's been a rebel for a long time, that he's had to make a lot of tough decisions. When we're introduced to his character, he shoots someone in the back kind of to save himself, which I thought was great, because that's a moral dilemma that's in the film and really gets to show us much more about the rebel forces that we didn't know before. I mean, you would think that everyone fighting on the rebels is on the same side, but really what this film does is show a lot of complexity, that not everyone of the rebels was good, or not even every one of the rebels did something, above board in order to accomplish what they wanted to. I really like that we showed different sides, and that the characters had moral dilemmas, and that they needed something to sort of galvanize them in order to complete their mission. One of my favorite characters in the film is K2SO, played by Alan Tudyk. That's where all the really great comedic relief comes in the film. He was just really fun to watch. A different sort of droid than we're used to. A new droid that we're looking for. I really thought that he played him well. If there is one great emotional beat, it's because of how much we got to know about him within the film. We didn't get to know everything about him, but again, most of the characters other than Jyn Erso get about 1 or 2 lines to describe their backstory. And I think that perhaps if we'd gotten that in the second act, it would have been more emotionally satisfying. If we'd spent some time getting to know them a little better, it would have made that emotional beat just a little more rich. Even though I felt like I didn't get to know the characters as well as I might have liked to, I still felt like this was a very entertaining film. One of my other favorite characters is Donnie Yen. He's our Force-sensitive character and the spiritual center of the film. He's not a Jedi himself, but he is Force-sensitive. He is one with the Force, and the Force is with him. I thought that was really cool. We got to see him fight in a style that we've never seen before in a Star Wars film. His buddy, his right-hand man, Baze, also very cool. Sharp with his weapon. I like that. Ben Mendelsohn plays Orson Krennic. I actually like most of what we got to see about his character. Sort of a power struggle within the Empire and someone taking credit for his work. Grand Moff Tarkin. Was he convincing? Was he not? Should that have been done in the film? As far as CGI has come along and motion captures come along, this was pretty close. This is what is known as the uncanny valley, which is where special effects can come so far to look so lifelike, but there's just some part of your brain that still knows that they're not really there, and your brain can't let that go. So to some degree, it gets a little creepy. The estate of Peter Cushing okayed for his likeness to be used within the film, and I think it makes sense for him to be within the film as this takes place really right before episode 4. I just think that maybe had we had another actor that just maybe looked a lot like him, it just would have been just a little less distracting. And then there's another CGI character that doesn't look real at all. I understand why she had to be there, but it really, really creeped me out. I understand that they're trying to tie this to that film, and I think that this film is a great example of showing us a story where we generally know what the ending is going to be, and showing us what happened before that, but still giving us stakes and action and a reason to care about these characters and not bogging it down in so many details that it becomes boring for 3 films. I think you know what I'm talking about. So Darth Vader is in this film. Should he be in the film? Should he not be in the film? It was cool. It was very fun. I loved his scene. There's 2 scenes, specifically his second scene. It was very exciting and very exhilarating. I don't think that the film would have been any worse without him in it. I think it would have just been fine, but of course we have to have Darth Vader in a film because that means rubbing your fingers together. It also means that you can sell more toys of him. Maybe. Did I like seeing him in the film? Did I like hearing the voice of James Earl Jones? Am I asking myself a lot of questions that I'm eventually going to answer? Yes. Yes. And also yes. Really enjoyed it. Really think that it's a fun and a fine addition to the saga of Star Wars. I hope they keep making these kinds of stories. It's really fun to get to see other parts of the universe. So I'm gonna try that again. Gotta love Jyn. I'm gonna give Rogue One, a Star Wars story, a rating of glasses up. Go see this film. I think you'll enjoy it, perhaps as much as I did. Alright, well, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel and go ahead and give the video a like. If you'd like to watch another review that I did, you can click somewhere on the screen and you can watch that review and let me know how you felt about it. Please leave a comment below. Let me know how you felt about my review. And if you're enjoying the Negroni as well, thanks so much. And we will see you next time. Cheers. It's a gin drink. It's Jyn Erso is her name. Is she related to Qui-Gon Jinn? New fan theory? Did your mind just... No? Okay. Well, you're hard to please. Bye.
The power that we are dealing with here is immeasurable.
If the Empire has this kind of power, what chance do we have?
We have hope. They've no idea
code of this moment. The force is strong. Make 10 men feel like 100.
You're rebels, aren't you?